Hello and welcome to Sam's on Wrestling, and this is our first Power Rankings of 2025.
Dun, dun, dun.
We're back with a bang. Sam, who are we doing for our first 2025 Power Rankings?
Mandy Rose. She did that thing with Otis one time, didn't she?
I did like that, actually, with Otis.
Yeah, that's quite...
If you're new to the Power Rankings, here's how it works. We will take a certain wrestler, female, male, or tag team, and we will give them a score out of 10 in 10 different wrestling categories. We then combine our scores together, giving us an overall score of 200, and they will then land a place on our leaderboard. As we're saying today, we are looking at the career of Mandy Rose. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see where Mandy... It's such a lackluster start.
Well, I'm not going to lie, Sam, you did choose Mandy Rose.
Well, to be fair, it is January, it's his Royal Rumble season, so a lot of our Power Rankings in January are going to be Royal Rumble related. And why do you reckon I picked Mandy Rose Royal Rumble related?
I'm not going to lie, Sam, I don't know.
She is the first ever female to be eliminated from the Women's Royal Rumble.
Oh.
She was the first one ever. Do you know who actually eliminated her? Who got
Sasha
the first
Banks.
ever... No, but she wasn't.
She was number one, yeah.
No, it's a legend. It's a Hall of Famer.
Could be another. Michelle McCool, because she eliminated like 20 people, didn't she?
She came in like
she
much
was like
later.
Braun Strowman in that role.
Lita eliminated Mandy, like everyone did in the 2018 Women's Royal Rumble. It was mainly just legends eliminating good wrestlers. Anyway, let's get to the ranking. We start with wrestling ability. This is just their in-ring performance. Sam, where have you gone with Mandy Rose?
I've gone with a basic 6.
I've also gone with a 6. I've
Yeah.
also started
I don't
6.
think she's bad, but I also don't think she's very good.
If I'm being perfectly honest, if we just judge this solely on the main roster, I think it'd be much lower. Mine's based on her NXT run that she had when she went back just before she got fired. She was excellent.
Yeah,
she was actually really good. It was a great run. Her wrestling ability massively improved. I generally probably would have given her a 4, actually. I think she never really got a chance to do proper singles matches. She was in that Absolution tag team. She kind of was on the side a lot, or had really small matches, because they still weren't getting long matches, really.
No.
As much as people think they weren't, unless you were like your Becky, Sasha, Charlotte. But yeah, her NXT run. I actually liked her in work. It was actually fine.
I genuinely didn't think of her NXT run.
Yeah,
genuinely. That might change a few of my scores.
Yeah, that's where... Because remember, just for anyone who is new, we always judge on their best, unless there are mitigating circumstances. But I think a 6 is probably fair for Mandy Rose.
Yeah.
This is their storytelling, so this is stories they've been in, as well as their ability to tell a story in the ring. Sam, where have you gone for Mandy Rose here, though?
Gone with a 5.
I've also gone 5.
Yeah.
We've started off 2025 on the 6th. Maybe this is how the year will be.
We finally agree on things.
Maybe we'll actually get on.
I don't think so.
Why have you gone 5?
Because I don't think she gets much chance to tell stories anyway, and then when I've seen her have longer matches, I've not been wowed.
No, I there's not a flow to her matches that build to a crescendo, or there's not a come in here and there. Again, my 5 pretty much comes from her NXT, but I don't think the matches were so far and away.
No.
Her storylines, she didn't have many. The Otis one is probably the number one, and that was actually a lot of her idea, you know.
Really?
She wanted to be paired with Otis. That was actually her. So I actually, because that was on Chris Van Vliet, I think they admitted that. So yeah, I storyline stuff, no, it wasn't a lot, but I actually think 5 is probably a fair assessment for Mandy.
I think so.
Now look at their promo ability, the ability to speak on the microphone. Sam.
This might be harsh, but I've gone with a 5. Have you gone with a 5 as well? There we go. Just look at whatever I put. You just don't copy in my answers.
Just copy and paste.
Yeah, exactly.
Have I just used yours?
Pretty much, yeah.
We actually generally don't know which either scores, by the way. We really don't. It's a nice surprise for us. So the fact we've gone 3 for 3 says Mandy Rose really is this much basic.
Yeah.
I think the problem is she didn't got much time to talk on a microphone.
That was my thought. I mean, do you remember a Mandy Rose promo?
No, that was the problem. Again, I had to go to NXT, where she got a bit of mic time in NXT, and that's where I did my mark. But I went, because I have to go to I have to go to the development brand. I have to go and find stuff, because we don't watch NXT quite a lot. You know, I try to stay away from NXT anyway, generally, so that I get a surprise when they come to the main roster. But it's just the fact that I was just thinking, like, she got a bit of talking in the COVID era.
A little bit.
But there wasn't much. No.
It's unremarkable, but the thing is that I also thought, well, she's not bad enough that you also remember a really bad promo.
Yes,
So
yeah,
I wouldn't put her at a 3 or 4 or 2.
It was actually very hard to judge her because there wasn't actually a lot to hang on to promo-wise, actually.
But then I think, well, is there a reason they didn't give her much promos?
Yeah, well, she had Soraya or Paige was kind of her microphone for a while. I actually thought Sonya got more mic time than she did when they were a pair. And Sonya's pretty decent on the microphone, so I can understand that. So, yeah, it's hard to judge Mandy when it comes to actually in-ring work and promo skills, really. I think a lot of the rest of what we're going to talk about will probably be easier to talk about.
Yeah.
We now move on to the look. This could be costume, appearance, how they present themselves, whatever it actually is. Sam, where have you gone for look for Mandy Rose?
I went with a 7. Like, have you genuinely... Just wrap it up now.
This is... Okay.
That's all right.
It's very hard to have a discussion.
When we just go, yeah, 7, yeah, 6.
This isn't quite Santina Morella's finisher, is it?
It's not quite got the heated debate you're after it.
I never thought we'd have a gentleman's agreement about
never
Mandy
agree on
Rose.
anything.
Why have you gone for 7?
I just think she's presented in a really good way. I think her entrance is really good. We'll get to that. But I just think her attire is quite good. Like, it just looks quite...
They went for the gold motif.
Yeah,
and I actually like that. I like something
with
that
the
has
blonde.
Yeah, I like a colour scheme. Because they also then went with black, and obviously black and gold always pairs quite well. And I think when you give someone a colour, we see it with Bret Hart, you gave Bret a higher look because the pink was iconic. And obviously I'm not saying the gold was, but, you associated it with her, as well as the fact that she obviously was an extremely gorgeous woman. Now, I normally wouldn't necessarily need to mention that, but that was kind of what they pushed. And we'll talk about that a little bit with the gimmick, but Corey Graves would go mad, and it would be mad over a look. So, you have to take that consideration. That's why I think a 7 is probably about right. I was hedging between 7 and 8, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I think so, but I think it was the fact that the gold was just kind of gold rather than a spectacular gold or anything.
It wasn't like really fancy in terms of the design. And
she
sometimes basic is good.
Well, she also never had like a WrestleMania entrance either with like big gold, which would have been really interesting. Because the only thing she did at WrestleMania was fall on her ass.
What with
37?
I thought it was. Oh, did she fell on her ass? I thought she just kissed him.
37 coming down the ramp with Dana Brooke in a tag team.
Really?
Felt right on her ass.
No.
Yeah, she whiffed it. You think Ultimo Dragon's fall? Hers is worse.
Oh no!
Straight like literally, it was a onto your bum. It wasn't great.
Oh no!
Yes. So she's a 7.
That's why she gets a 7.
We move on to the entrance that Sam briefly mentioned. Sam, what did you look at for their entrance?
I've gone with a 6.
Ah, finally.
Finally.
A disagreement. I've gone 8.
8?
Well,
okay.
I'll start because I actually have quite strong feelings about this. We talked about this with Beth Phoenix, how many women actually have an entrance, per se. Like, there's very few of the history. They're getting a little bit more of it now, but, to have the gold kind of filter already is different, and then Mandy, it really suited her quite well. Made you really hate her because it was such an annoying theme tune. And then to kind of come out a little bit of slow motion with the gold. Corey Graves is a part of that entrance going mad. I actually think it's a really good entrance for modern day women who aren't main events, actually.
Fair enough. To me, the theme's just a bit...
it's a crap theme.
That's what brings it down for me. I think that's what I said. So the presentation of the entrance is very good.
It's excellent, yeah.
But I think it suffers the problem with a lot of modern themes that they're just really meh, and that's being very nice.
Well, thankfully, we discussed on one of our previous things about getting rid of WWE's entrance music and how bad it is. And since then, they have been fired, and they were hopefully, we don't know who's been placed. They might have been placed by this point, but, they were meant to be gone by the end of the year. So hopefully they'll start replacing some theme tunes. But yeah, Mandy, I actually like the entrance. I like the gold tinge. It's actually the music that dropped it down.
That's the music. It's the music for me.
But I like the gold. Do you know what a gold filter?
I mean, I never say no to a gold filter.
If I had the ability to put a gold filter on, should we be in a gold filter now? Okay, we're in a gold filter.
Mandy.
Corey goes, she's so hot! She's so hot! I don't have a wife at home or anything.
No.
She's so hot.
I live at home, just in the ring.
It's a rival. We move on to their heel work, their bad guy work. Sam, where have you gone for this one?
I've gone with a 7.
I've also gone
There
7.
we go.
We're back on track. I just like a gold filter more than you. That's what it is. I just like a gold filter.
That's the difference. I think she always worked better as a heel. Her NXT stuff was really good as a heel.
I always think if someone's such a good heel, and they turn babyface and they get over more, they've done a really good job as a heel.
Yeah.
Because I think there's two types of heels who are good. One you hate and you just constantly keep hating because they're so good at it. Or one who gets so good at it you actually start to come round and respect them. Or when they start showing any babyface, you go, oh yeah, okay. So when she started doing the thing with Otis, which is a perfect pair, we cottoned onto that. And I actually think it's not the babyface work that did that. It was the heel work that did that.
Yeah, because I'll get to the babyface work later. But I think, as a heel, I think the thing is with this, she did always kind of need to be in a group or with someone else.
Yes, a lot of my heel stuff is based on her group in Absolution, but also her heel work was NXT. She
also had a group and she was the leader of it, which was great.
Yes, right? I forgot about that. Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting she was in it. What was it? Oh, was it Fatal Attraction? Was that what it is?
Yes, Fatal Attraction.
Was it Fatal Attraction?
Good. Yeah, well put.
Correct us in the thing. I'm not sure. That might be the name. It might be
Toxic Attraction.
Toxic Attraction. She was attractive.
Yes.
Had an NXT belt.
There was something dangerous about the attraction going on. That's the basic.
She was a Venus flytrap. That's what it was there.
Yes.
There was just something so no. My brain went. That's how you get cancelled. I actually liked her as a heel with Paige and Sonya Deville. I actually liked them as a pair.
I did, yeah. It's just the fact that they had the Riot Squad and them going on at the same time. And it was like, we're going to do two of the same.
And then they didn't book them either. They didn't push either group. But I can tell you whose group was better. I definitely felt Absolution were better. People will go to the Riot Squad, they remember, but no, you remember the people in the Riot Squad. They did nothing in that Riot Squad.
No.
But we'll talk about them another time.
Yes.
Now their babyface work. What are they like as a babyface? Sam?
I've gone with a 4.
I've also gone with a 4.
Yeah, I feel bad.
A gentleman's agreement.
Yes, a gentleman's agreement. Yes, men of culture. She just doesn't seem
it
that
didn't
like.
work. It didn't work. He took Otis away, and there was nothing there. Yeah, well, that was the problem. You know, well, that's where the cash in and all that stuff happened with the Money in the Bank, and then they did nothing, and then it got split, and then it was weird. She doesn't. Some people are baby faces, and some people aren't. Some people can play both, and some people are just natural heels. I think with the way that she held herself in the ring, how she posed, how she talked, how she, facial expressions, they were just very heel. And I think that very difficult to transition. I think it was the Otis effect that got her those big cheers.
But it was a story, not necessarily a
good
character
story.
Work. Yeah, great story.
I would have loved to have seen that played out in front of a crowd.
Weirdly, the best story of WrestleMania 36.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely hands down. Absolutely hands down. And do you know what? One of the few spots of the Women's Rumble in 2020.
Yeah, because he saved it, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a great spot. Absolutely fantastic spot. Yeah, babyface, there's not much to go on. She is a 4. 4. Yeah. Gimmick/personality. So this is, do they have a gimmick? If they don't really have much of a gimmick, we can talk about who they are as a person as well, all together. Sam, what have you gone for?
This might be harsh, but I'm going 5.
I've also gone 5.
We've not looked at each other's answers.
Okay.
We haven't. This is insane. I wish I'd done an 8 on entry.
Is this going to be the shortest power ranking video? There's nothing to discuss.
It's just someone saying something and going,
hang on. Let's just do it properly. There we go. Right. So we think, just a score out of 100 for Mandy. She's going to be bottom of the rankings because she can't have a score out of, say, 100. I think 5 is about right for a gimmick or personality. She didn't really have one.
That's my problem.
And the gimmick was that she was kind of pretty, kind of hot. That was the gimmick.
Very vague. It's not based on her really doing or saying much.
Yeah.
Which doesn't help.
Yeah.
So
there's not much to say really about it.
So if a non-wrestling fan said to you, what is Mandy Rose's character? What do you say? She's blonde and she's quite pretty and the commentator likes her and she's kind of arrogant.
And she just wasn't in NXT long enough. That gimmick to then transition to the main roster for it to be a part. Because I would probably say that was a better gimmick.
Yeah.
But I think that was winning and leader of a group.
It's just being pushed.
Yeah, 5. Over or a draw, how much money did they make / how much over they were with the crowd, Sam?
5. Have you genuinely?
I'm getting bored of this now.
This is really, but this is a terrible video.
Oh my god.
There should just be one of us here. We don't need to have 2. I should just go.
Yeah.
I should just take the best of this. Yeah, I'll just let you explain why she's over. 5.
Yeah. Her residual with the Otis thing is what pushed it up. I think Sam's probably going to be in agreement. I think outside of that, when she was a group, it was a lot of residual cheers for Paige more than anything else. She didn't really draw much money. The NXT women's title was actually quite good. I thought that she actually built a bit going into there, so she kind of got that kind of group over and herself over in there, which is why people were so surprised when she got released. But in the grand scheme of things here, she wasn't massively over. I think if you took away the Otis and the Paige people and you did it on her own, 5 is about right. We move on to the finisher. You should always end on a finish. Sam, what do you think of? So this is the what's it called? Bed of roses.
Whatever it is, like
it's like a pedigree flapjack thing.
Yeah, but I like it.
I like it.
Hence, I've gone with an 8.
I've got an 8. Wow.
Interesting minds going one-on-one.
This is ridiculous.
We've never had
Wow. This is not one difference in the
I'm so disappointed I went with a 6 with an entrance.
One.
What
just
a missed
one.
opportunity.
And you were wrong as well. I think it's a really good entrance for in the women's
I should
era.
move it up for the sake of it,
Yeah,
shouldn't
I cannot believe that. It's actually a really good finish, especially in the women's finishes, especially one. Again, if you're not a main eventer, the women's finish is usually a form of DDT of some kind. You know, even main events, I look at something like Oblivion is effectively almost like a DDT type esque move. Really, effectively, you know, it's even worse. It's almost like one that what's it called? Like, you know, when they self rock bottom. You know that.
Oh yeah. That no.
But it's a good move actually. I wish. The thing is, we had to Google it because we were like, "What was that finishing move?"
I had no idea.
She didn't win on the main roster, and you didn't watch NXT that much. And then we went, "Oh God, yeah, it was that thing. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it." So if you've not seen Mandy Rose finish, there'll be a lot of people, even wrestling fans, that here go, "Where's Mandy Rose finish?" Go watch it. It's actually a really good finish.
Yeah, I said to you earlier, I expect it to be normal X Factor or DDT, but I was really pleasantly surprised. It's a cool finisher.
So our final scores. Sam, I think I know what your scores. I just have to take away 2 off
2,
mine.
yes, it's pretty simple maths. 58.
And I've scored it a 60, giving Mandy Rose an overall score of 118. And funny enough, this is our first time we've actually had a tie. And she goes into joint second place with Eve Torres. But before we do the leaderboard, we have to actually decide who we believe should be higher or lower. My view is I think Mandy is just higher than Eve Torres.
I get you, and I wouldn't be fuming if you put her ahead of Eve Torres.
Take away the NXT run, I think Eve Torres wins, but I think that NXT run is because she actually had a proper run on her own, and she was the focal point, and she held it really well. I think she just gets the nod for me.
Only devil's advocate point for Eve Torres is I think her character work.
It's tight. It's tight.
That's what brings about.
Absolutely. That's why I said if you took her that NXT run, I think they're going, I think she heavily beats her. But I think having running a division is a big deal, and I think you deserve to jump if you've actually led a division and succeeded in it. She held that title for I think a year. I think. Yeah. So and it was good. And it was good. So
I don't feel strongly enough to.
No, I don't think so. So there we go. Our Mandy Rose has jumped to second place on our female leaderboard. But what did you think? Where would you rank Mandy? Did you give her the exact same scores as 9 out of 10 is unbelievable.
That's insane.
What are the chances of that? I mean, I could do the math. But it's unbelievable. But thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next time on the Power Rankings. Mandy.
Not the drug. Vessler, we don't want to get banned.